On this Make It Once video, I do some Volvo brand strength training. So I'm back here in the boot, in the trunk. I've been trying to figure out how these gas struts get replaced. David Bello just posted one about the 240 ones, the gas or the spring struts, but these are the different type. I think the older type. So I was trying to mess with it, and they require you to have this second piece down here, and it's threaded. So I think the method here is that you can unthread it and that will cause it to compress a little bit. Now what happens when it's completely unthreaded, I'm not sure. So if you notice, the trunk is actually holding itself up, because last night I was able to get one of the gas struts on, and I was befuddled after I got the old one off on this side. I couldn't figure out how to get the new one on, but at 11:30 at night I figured it out, and I couldn't rest until I tried it. So I tried it. It took me a few tries. It was a good workout, but I was able to do it. So I'm going to see if I can show you how to do it on the other side over here. So the first thing is one out. Trunk's not holding itself up anymore. Let's get the stick back. Okay, and then we're gonna use this attachment. So when you go to buy these online, they sell the strut, and they always recommend, this is the Scandics, to buy this separately. So if you have it one already in place in this older style, it'll still work, so you don't have to buy that unless you're missing that piece. And then we want to line that up. My method is going to be using some physics and a single loop to pull against. So we're going to create single loop. This is I want to say 12 gauge or 10 gauge or 14 gauge wire or something like that. And it took me a while to figure out kind of the right length of the loop. So if the loop is too long, your prying action will get in the way of the actual cylinder. If it's too short, you can't get your pry bar in place. And you kind of have to get everything lined up so that things don't get in the way of each other. So I just twist these wires, get the end off, tuck this in so it doesn't bend or it doesn't scratch the paint. Okay, so now what we have is our gas strut clips in, and if you can see, hopefully you can see that from there, it's about 2 inches too far, and just pushing it in by hand doesn't work. So what we're going to use is a pry bar of sorts, and we're going to put it behind this metal brace over here. It's just the right location, or pretty close enough. There's our pry point back there. Hopefully we can see it. I'm going to put a little cardboard over there just so I don't damage it. Okay, so that's the general thing, general way we're going to set it up. So the wire loop goes behind the strut so that it doesn't slide off. And then I'm keeping the strut on the bottom. So the pry bar is going to go on the bottom so I can push forward and then up. And then I'm going to hopefully use my back to push the trunk lid up a little bit so I can get it in there. So let's see if I can do this. Alright, so now that both of the struts are in, let's enjoy the beautiful sound of gas pistons. Hopefully you can hear that. But the trunk is holding open on its own, and as you can see, the parts are piling up, so I'm going to need to get in and out of this trunk a lot. It's not super easy. It takes a little fiddling and lining up. It may have bent a little bit, but it saves the trouble of building some contraption that if a wire snaps or clamp releases or wrench slips, that you can really hurt yourself. I mean, these are huge amount of force, so didn't look like it. I was under a lot of control, but pushing on all your weight, if something slipped, I was kind of removed from the piston, so even if it slipped, I was far enough away, and that wire is completely looped in, so it wouldn't, if it broke, I would just slip. The wire wouldn't go flying. So there you go.